Welcome to week number 82 of Scott's Week in Sports Daily, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back once again with my dad. Football season is right around the corner.
Let's go!
4 weeks out before football season starts up again. I'm going to start my season predictions for the teams here in the state of Florida this week. I'll start off with UCF and Tampa Bay this weekend. As we get going here to start the year off. First off, we'll start with the NFL because they got more games than the college football teams do. As Bruce Arians starts his NFL career off at home against Jimmy G and the Niners. I have the Bucs winning this game at home. I feel like Garoppolo's not going to be 100%. James Winston's going to have a great season. Our defense will play well enough to win this game. I got the Bucs winning this game at home over a pretty good 49ers team.
And I agree with Scott. I'm also going with the Bucs at home. I think Jimmy G is not good enough yet to be called Jimmy G and have his own nickname. He hasn't really shown enough. It's all potential. I think the Bucs are going to win this game in a close one by a field goal.
Next up, week 2, as we head into Thursday Night Football, the only primetime game the Bucs got this year on the schedule, as they head into Charlotte, North Carolina to take on Scam Newton and the Carolina Panthers.
Did you say Scam?
I will take the Bucs on the road here over the Panthers. I just don't think Cam's shoulder is where it needs to be in this game. I will take the Bucs at home on the road to get a win over the Panthers.
If the Bucs were playing the Panthers at home, I take the Bucs, but on the road, nighttime game, Carolina's going to be fired up. I think Carolina gets the win here. Bucs go 101.
We miss you, Gerald McCoy.
Next up, as we head back home, so it's away home to start the season off for the Bucs. As we head into Raymond James Stadium for another 4:25 kickoff. Don't know why a lot of these games are 4:25 this year. As we head in to take on, it doesn't really matter who starts quarterback, Eli Manning or Daniel Jones, as we head in to take on the New York Football Giants. I have the Bucs winning this game, but whoever starts a quarterback for them this week. I have the Bucs winning this game easily. Last time we saw this team at home, we only won by a field goal. I expect a more lopsided win here. I'll take the Bucs at home over the Giants.
Wow, 3-0 for the Bucs here.
I do, yeah.
I agree. I think they're going to beat the Giants. I don't think there's any lopsided wins in the Bucs schedule. I think any game they win is going to be close. I don't think they're that good to win in lopsided fashion. I think Barkley's going to be the key. Can we stop the run? If so, Bucs win. So I'm going Bucs. They're 2-1. Scott's got them 3-0 so far. Here we go.
Next up, our first West Coast game as we head in to LA to take on Jared Goff and the Rams.
And Blake Bortles?
This is where the win streak stops. I have the Bucs losing this game on the road. I just don't think we're ready yet to beat a very high caliber team like the Rams on the road. So I will take the Saints. I'll take the Rams at home to get it done against the Bucs and put us at 3-1 on the year.
I agree with you there. I think the Rams are just too good at home. Gurley's health is still uncertain, but I still think the Rams have too much. The Bucs go 2-2 at this point.
Next up, the Buccaneers head back east as they head into New Orleans to take on Drew Brees and the Saints. I have this game as a loss. I just don't think we're good enough yet. We got lucky last year with the win against the Saints. I said that last year. The Saints always start off slow and then get it going in October, and that's exactly when this game is. So I will take the Saints at home over the Bucs.
So Scott's got them 3-2.
Yep.
I got the Bucs losing to the Saints as well. I got the Bucs going under 500 at 2-3. The Saints were a bad call away from the Super Bowl. I just don't think the Bucs have enough to go win on the road in New Orleans.
And next up, it's another international game as we head into London, England. 9:30 a.m. kickoff for this game. We lose a home game for this one as we head into jolly old England to take on Carolina Panthers again. I have this game as a win. I feel like the Bucs are going to come into this game, get a win in London, and get to 4-2 on the season.
I agree. I think Newton's shoulder is going to tense up on that flight on the way over. He's going to get throwing fatigue, and the Bucs are going to win to go 3-3 against the Panthers in London.
And now into the bye week, we are 4-2 in my opinion. And next up, we head into Tennessee to take on Mariota and the Titans. I have this game as a win. Jameis has never beat Marcus Mariota in his career until now. I have the Bucs winning this game with an extra week to get ready. I have the Bucs winning this game on the road in Nashville against the Titans.
This one I can go either way with, but I think the fact that the Bucs have the bye week, I think it's going to be big, and I think the Bucs will go into Tennessee, and they will now be 4-3 and above 500 again.
And next up we head into Seattle to take on Russell Wilson and the 12th man in Seattle. I have this game as a loss for the Bucs. I just don't think I think the 12th man is going to be too much to work with this week. I have the Bucs losing this game in Seattle against Russ and the Seahawks.
This is my upset special of the season. I think Seattle's taken a big step back this year. I think they've lost too many top quality players. I think the Buccaneers are going to go to 5-3 and win at Seattle.
Next up, back home we go after about a month off from having home games as we head in to take on Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. Bruce Arians' old team. I got the Bucs beating the Cardinals and proving to the Cardinals why they should have never gotten rid of Bruce Arians. I'll take the Bucs at home to get it done over Kyler Murray and the Cardinals.
You're right, Scott. This is a payback game for Arians. Their players are going to be excited and pumped up. I think the Bucs are going to go to 6-3 at this point, just before the meltdown.
Have them at 7-2, right?
6-3.
I did though, right? Next up into Tampa, staying home as we take on Drew Brees and the Saints again. I have this game as a loss in the loss column. Get us to 6-4 on the season.
Correct.
Yeah, and I feel like that is a loss at home against a very quality Saints team. I have this game as a loss to the Saints.
Historically, we've played the Saints pretty well at home, but I think the Saints are on an absolute revenge tour after what happened to them last year. I think we're going to lose the Saints, unfortunately, at home as well and go 6-4.
Next up, as we head into Atlanta to take on Matty Ice and the Falcons, another revenge game for the Bucs here. I have this game as a win in Atlanta and getting a win against our old head coach over there in Atlanta now in Dirk Cutter. I have the Bucs winning this game in Atlanta over the Falcons.
Not me. I think on the road, Atlanta is going to be a much improved team this year. I think, unfortunately, the Bucs are going to lose to go 6-5. Scott's got them 7-4. I'm at 6-5.
Next up, we head into Jacksonville, another game in the state of Florida as we head into Jacksonville and Duval County to take on jolly old St. Nick Foles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I have this game as a loss in the loss column here. That is our 5th loss of the season. I just don't think we're good enough. I actually think we will win this game. I think our defense will be
switch and audible.
Our defense will be good this year. I think Todd Bowles will turn this defense around, and I think we get the win in Jacksonville against Nick Foles, who we beat last year, and now he's got not as good of a team as he did last year with the Eagles. I have the Bucs winning this game on the road in Jacksonville to get to 8-4. To get to 8-4 on the season.
Not me. I think Jacksonville is going to have a rebound season. I think that their defense will be too good, and I think we're going to lose this game to go 6-6.
Next up, we head into Indy we head back home to take on Andrew Luck and the Colts. Probably one of the sleepers to make the Super Bowl this year coming out of the AFC. I have this game as a win for us to get to 9-4. The Bucs have been playing great all season. I think we get a win here on the road, at home at Raymond James, and get a win. Get us one win away from potential playoff spot. I'll take the Bucs at home over the Colts.
I want to take the Bucs here as well. I really want Andrew Luck to stay healthy all year. I really like him as a young man, but he's been injury prone, so would not be surprised to see him injured at this point in the season. I think the Bucs are going to get the win at home and go 7-6.
Now we head into the Motor City to take on Matt Stafford and the Lions. I have this game as a win. I feel like this might be our last win of the season to get us to 10-4 on the year. I will take the Bucs at home over the Lions. Matt Stafford does not have a lot of help on that offensive line. Doesn't have a lot of help at receiver. I'll take the Bucs at home on the road in Detroit to get a win over the Lions.
I agree. I think the Bucs are going to win in Detroit. Not because I think the Bucs are great, but Detroit's not very good. And I think that'll bring us to 8-6 on the season.
Next up, we head into Houston to take on Deshaun Watson. At home, actually, we head back home to take on, for our last home games, as we take on Deshaun Watson and the Texans. Time to be determined for this game. Could be a Sunday night game if both teams are on a roll at this point. But I'm going to take the Texans on the road to get a win here. To get a win. I feel like Deshaun Watson's much better than Jameis, and I feel like that defense is much better than ours. So I'll take the Texans on the road to get a win over the Bucks on this Sunday before Christmas.
I really wish I'd like the Bucks here, but I don't. I think Texans are just too good of an overall team, and so I like the Texans to win on the road. For the Bucks now to go 8-7.
And it all comes down to this: could be a spot in the playoffs on the line in this game. That's what I think will happen here, and it'll be the Bucks and the Falcons at home at Raymond James Stadium. Time to be determined. Could be a Sunday night game if both teams are in playoff contention. I'm going to take the Bucks at home to get a win here and get to 11-5 on the season. I feel like the Bucks are going to have a much improved season this year. I think we beat Atlanta at home and get a win over the Falcons at home.
I agree with Scott. I think the Bucks are going to get the win here as well. They're going to go to 9-7. In most years, that's not good enough to make the playoffs, but hopefully this year it will be. So I've got the Bucks improving from their 5-11 record last year. I think Arians will turn them around, but it'll be a 4-win turnaround instead of a 6-win turnaround, which is what Scott's predicting. But definitely a much improved season.
And now into the UCF season preview. Should be another fantastic year for the Knights as we head in to another fantastic year of UCF football here in Orlando. First game of the season, just a few weeks away. At home at the Bounce House, 7:30, August 29th. Should be an excellent game. Temperature for the game is probably going to be somewhere in the 90s. I got UCF easily winning this game. I think we could probably sit our starters for the second half here in this game. I got the Bucks easily over Florida A&M. Nice and easy to get a 1-0 start to the season.
Florida A&M is usually the team that people schedule if they want to get a win. No different here. I think the Knights are going to beat A&M, and they're going to beat them pretty badly.
Next up, we head into Boca. Another tough game as we head into Boca to take on Lane Kiffin and FAU. I believe this is a Friday night game. Should be a good one. I got UCF winning this game at home on the road in Boca. I know that they got a new quarterback in DeAndre Francois over there with FAU now, the former Florida State quarterback. But I got UCF winning this game on the road in Boca over FAU.
Here's the one thing you can guarantee about FAU. If the player's been in trouble or gone to jail or been kicked off a team, they're going to end up at FAU. And this is no different, but even with all those players, those ex-troublemakers, UCF's still going to win on the road against FAU Owls. Good versus evil.
Next up, big home game, probably one of the biggest games of the year. It'll be a 3:30 kickoff in September, so the temperature will be a little bit hot down here in September at a 3:30 kickoff as we take on the Stanford Cardinals. Should be a great game here, but just based on the heat and the home field advantage in this game, I'll take UCF at home over Stanford. Should be a phenomenal game. I could see this game going either way. It's a coin flip, but I'll take the heat and the home field advantage to get it done. The Knights get it done at home.
They're going to win this game as soon as Stanford steps off the plane and walks outside and like, holy crap. It's been 60 degrees up in Stanford the whole year, and now it's 95 degrees in Florida. I think they're going to wear down, and we're going to beat them in the fourth quarter, and UCF is going to be Stanford at home to go 3-0.
Yeah, we could see College Game Day coming down here for this game. We'll see what happens there. Hopefully, Syracuse can get a loss in there in the first 2 weeks. That would sure up College Game Day for the week. So we'll see. Next up, it will be UCF heading in to Heinz Field to take on the Pitt Panthers. Tough game. If this is a noon kickoff, I'll probably miss the entire game this week because I'll be at area softball that day. But I'll take UCF on the road at Pitt. It'll probably be one of the closest games of the year here. But I'll take UCF on the road at Heinz Field to get a win over the Pitt Panthers.
Pitt's going to want revenge after last year. We drummed Pitt at home. Fortunately, Pitt lost a lot of their players, I think they're ranked maybe like preseason in the 70s. So I'm going to take UCF on the road against Pitt, but I think it'll be a close game.
Back home for the last home game of the month of September as we head in to Spectrum Stadium to take on the UConn Huskies. I will take UCF to get another big win here. UCF should have no problem beating UConn. We only lost to them, I think, once or twice since we joined the American. So I'll take UCF at home to run away with this game over UConn.
I agree. I think I saw in a preseason ranking that UConn was ranked like 120th out of 124 teams. So UConn is not very highly rated. I think UCF gets the win here. At home, we go 5-0.
Next up, may or may not be watching this game, as I will be at state swimming potentially for this weekend. And so it'll be UCF heading in to Cincinnati to take on the Cincinnati Bearcats. Luke Fickle's got another fantastic team this year.
Did you say pickle?
I got UCF winning this game on the road. I feel like UCF can get another win here. All depends on the quarterbacks. If we start Wimbush, I feel like we'll have a very good season. If we start Ian Book, it'll probably be. If we start the other kid, Dylan Gabriel, I remembered his name this time. He should have another good season. I'll take UCF on the road over Cincinnati.
This is the one I think I'm most worried about looking at the schedule. Cincinnati is a top 30 team. Cincinnati is well coached under Fickle. And I hate to say it, but I think UCF is going to lose this one on the road against Cincinnati, unfortunately.
Next up, it'll be East Carolina coming in to Spectre to take on the UCF Knights. Should be no problem here. I got UCF winning this game nice and easy over East Carolina on the October 19th. So I'll take UCF at home.
I think UCF's going to be very angry after losing Cincinnati. They're going to take it out on the East Carolina Pirates, and they are going to win by at least 4 touchdowns.
And next up, UCF heads into Philadelphia to take on the Temple Owls. Should be a good game here. I'll take UCF on the road at Temple to get a win over the Owls of Temple.
Temple always gives us a tough time, but I do think we'll get the win here, but I do believe it will be close.
Next up, UCF heading back home to take on De'Ara King and Houston. I'm telling you, folks, first team to 50 will win this game. I see absolutely no defense in this game. I'll take UCF to win this game on the defensive side of the football, and UCF wins this game by 2 touchdowns.
I agree. I think UCF's going to win against Houston, but I think it's going to be closer than 2 touchdowns. I think this will be a 1 touchdown or a field goal game. I agree with Scott. It's going to be very high scoring. Could be in the 50s. Very entertaining game, but I got UCF beating Houston at home.
Next up, we head into Tulsa, Oklahoma to take on the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. I'll take UCF on the road in Tulsa to get a win over the Hurricanes of Tulsa.
I don't even know what a golden hurricane is. I don't know that I've ever seen a hurricane that's gold, but it doesn't really matter. I think the Golden Knights, which makes a lot more sense, will beat the Golden Hurricanes on the road handily.
Next up, we head into New Orleans, one of the best cities in the entire country, as we head in to take on the Tulane Green Wave. I will take UCF on the road in Tulane to get a win over the Green Wave. No problem here.
Similar thing. I don't know what a green wave is. I've seen blue waves, but I've never really seen a green wave. But with that said, I think the Knights will go on the road and beat the green wave.
Next up, Black Friday, probably one of the biggest games of the year. Back at home. I might be tailgating for this game potentially if I can talk to my buddy Riley Carey, see if he wants to tailgate this game. As it will be, we take on the Cows of South Florida. Should be no problems here.
Ooh.
I think this is a revenge game
Ooh.
I think this will be a revenge game for last year. They said that they did not purposely hurt Mackenzie Milton last year. Yeah, right. You hurt him on purpose last year to ruin our season. I will take UCF to win this game by 4 touchdowns over USF in a revenge game from last season.
I agree with Scott on one point, disagree on another point. I do not think that USF tried to hurt Milton on purpose. I think it's just one of those freak accidents. But I agree with Scott that UCF will beat USF at home. I think UCF is going to be very motivated because of what happened to Milton last year. Not because they did it on purpose, but because that essentially changed their season. I think UCF gets the win.
And that will do it for this episode of Scott's Weekend Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back next week with my Florida Gator predictions and my
Jaguars
and my Jacksonville Jaguar predictions for this season. I will see you guys right back here next week on Scott's Weekend Sports right here on YouTube. Always like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you're on Stephen Battle's channel and he doesn't want to give you any subscriptions here, just come on over. I got more interesting things than Stephen Battle's got over there with his gaming stuff. I got a lot of different things coming over here. So always like, subscribe, comment, and share, and I'll see you guys right back here next week on Scott's Weekend Sports right here on YouTube. See you later, guys.
See you guys.